guys, it's Emma and welcome to Art by Emma. So for this week's video I'm going to be working on my Create This book with a little theme because it's October. We're going to be having Halloween week. So the first page I'm choosing for this week's video is Create a Growth Chart, and the obvious choice for this would be to illustrate the growth of a pumpkin. So I'm just going to start this by pencil drawing out some sketches of everything from the seed to the seedling to the foliage, the flower, and then the fruit or vegetable itself. So when the pencil sketches are finished, I've decided that I'm going to use watercolour to colour this in. Watercolour is not my forte really, but I do like the effect that it gives you, so I tend to use watercolour just to fill in all the main coloured areas, and then use pencil crayons or colouring pencils to give the details and shadows, etc. I've never really thought about where a pumpkin comes from. Well, I kind of know where a pumpkin comes from. It comes from a plant that was on the ground. But for the flower stage, I've never really thought of the flowers of a pumpkin, and they are a really pretty yellow colour. And with the watercolour section complete, it's now time to add those details and shadows to my pumpkin growth chart. So as I said before, watercolour is not really my forte, but just watching this progress now, I think the results are looking okay. So my second page is Create a Test, to compare your right and your left hand, your dominant and your non-dominant hand. So I've decided to go for a witch for this theme, as it's Halloween week. So again, just sketching out a rough idea of where everything's going to go. And for this, I'm going to colour it in using my Posca pens. It's Posca time. So I've chosen this lovely shade of green for her skin, and she's looking a little bit under the weather and rather scary without any facial features in place yet. I'm going to give her black hair and a purple hat and dress with an orange patch, because purple and orange seem to be very Halloweeny colours. And so with her makeup now applied, she's looking slightly more human, can I say? I know the feeling, girl. And she's not looking too bad, to be fair, with her orange patches and the flashes of white in her hair, or silver. And now we're on to the abomination that is witch number 2. I guess I'm not doing too badly for my left hand, but yeah, scary. I have to say, using my left hand to do this drawing and painting, it hurt my posture more than anything else, because I'm just not used to holding myself in that particular way to use that particular hand. So on to the third and final page for this week's Halloween Create This book, and I've chosen Create a Contradiction. Now, first of all, because this page is quite close to some other works I've done, I've decided to do on a separate paper, and I've bought these acrylic papers. They're kind of textured from my local Aldi. So I've cut these out, and I'm going to do my drawings and my paintings on these and stick them in the book. So with the contradiction in mind and Halloween in mind, I've decided to go for Frankenstein's monster and do his upper body as Frankenstein's monster, but his lower body as a ballerina. So his upper body was quite easy to do. It's kind of straightforward drawing of Frankenstein's monster, but turning his bottom half into a ballerina, still keeping the proportions of his upper body, was a bit of a task, and he's kind of looking a little bit bandy with those sprangly legs at the bottom. Now, just to fill the other side of this page, I've decided to give our Frankenstein's monster a little companion. I don't know who she is or where she's from or what their relationship is, but she's going to be a ballerina up top and Frankenstein's monster underneath. So with both sketches all completed, I'm starting the colouring in phase, and I'm using my lovely Posca pens just because they give such nice bold bright finishes, and this is acrylic paper and it is acrylic paint, so why not? So again, using those typical Halloween colours, green, purple and orange. He kind of looks like he's slightly related to my witch, and he's gone to the same clothes shop as well. So just to further enhance the contrast of this page, these drawings, for the Frankenstein segment of it, I'm using the nice bold Posca colours, but for the ballerina segment, I'm going to make it a bit more wishy-washy and use my watercolours again. I'm actually kind of liking how this is turning out in a cute monster, scary ballerina kind of a way. And for his companion, I'm going to do exactly the same. I'm going to watercolour the top half, that's her ballerina half, and use the nice bold Posca colours for her trousers and her boots. And she's standing on a little wooden crate just to try and make her look not so small next to her friend. So with just some finishing touches, all that's left to do is to glue these into the book. So here are my 3 pages from this week's spooky inspired Halloween Create This book. So the first one was create a growth chart, figure a way of showing some kind of growing process. So of course, with Halloween being the season in the month of October, I decided to demonstrate the growth of a pumpkin. I've used a combination of watercolours and coloured pencils just to get a little bit of the detail, and we're starting with seed, seedling, the foliage, the flower, and then the pumpkin. I think this turned out okay. I've got quite a lot of dead space over here that I think in the future I will come back and find something to finish that off with, but I think it's demonstrating a growing process from a tiny seed to a big massive pumpkin. So my second page this week was create a test. Write or draw something in box 1 with your dominant hand and try to duplicate your writing or your drawing in box 2 using your non-dominant hand. So we went for a little Halloween witchy with warts and everything, little grey bits in her hair, and then I tried to replicate it over on here with my left hand being my non-dominant hand, and she actually looks a bit more scary and Halloweeny over here. She looks like she's had a bucket of water thrown out over her and she's starting to melt. But yeah, here's my test of the difference between my dominant and non-dominant hand. And my third and final page was create a contradiction. So again, trying to stay on the Halloween theme, I thought, what would be more contradictory than a big Frankenstein's monster wearing a tutu and being a ballerina? So this is what I've done here, and to furthermore show the contrast, I've done the Frankenstein's monster in really bold cartoony styles with my Posca pens, but the tutu ballerina side of him I've done very soft with watercolours, and just to be a companion, or it might be his child or another creation of Dr. Frankenstein, we have a ballerina top half with Frankenstein-esque legs and boots. So yeah, that's my 3 pages for this week. Create this book with my Halloween spooky theme. I hope you've enjoyed watching the video. If you do, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new here and you like what you see, maybe give me a subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. Videos come out every Friday. I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.